Hi everyone, I'm Cassandra from Craft to Believe After, and welcome to a very fun video. Now today, the 2nd of October 2023, is the start of an extremely fun collab that I am co-hosting with a bunch of fantastic crochet artists. Now the ladies who is doing this collab with me is the wonderful Lee over at Lee Mac, Marsha from Mimi Makes Keepsakes, and Mary over at Slow Crochet. So I will be linking all of these channels down below. Now the four of us, we don't specifically celebrate Halloween, but it is the spooky season. We are getting slightly Halloweeny, slightly autumn vibes. It is just a beautiful time of the year. I know Lee being over in Australia, she's actually heading into spring, but they do a bit of Halloween over there. But all four of us are not really scary Halloween people. And we decided it would be fun to sort of look at what we can do using the hashtag Not So Scary Halloween. So I'm super excited to be seeing what the other ladies are going to come up with. We will be popping on every Monday throughout October to show you what we have made that falls within this hashtag Not So Scary Halloween theme. Now for this week, you guys, I am super excited, and I've mentioned it in a previous video. When Lee contacted me for this collab, my brain started working and I knew I wanted to do something special for this collab featuring the bear who is closest to my heart, and that is Buddy Bear. Now many of you will know Buddy Bear. He is a free pattern that I have on my blog. Last year I did sort of also a cutesy Halloween video, and Buddy Bear featured there as well with a little pumpkin on his head. He's just one of my favorite things to make. I've made dozens of Buddy Bears, so I thought Buddy Bear has to feature in the hashtag Not So Scary Halloween. Now this pattern that I will show you just now, it will be a free pattern that you can download as a PDF from my blog, and I will link my blog in the description box below. But I also managed to film a little tutorial for this pattern. So about just a short bit after this video is being released, I will release the video tutorial for my, I'm calling it Pumpkin Buddy. I'll be releasing the tutorial for him, and if you use the description box in that video, I did put time stamps in the description box. So if you, for instance, only want to see how I did the pumpkin, then you click on the time stamp featuring pumpkin, and it will take you to that part of the video. If you, for instance, want to see how I did the ears, you just click on the time stamp that says the ears or the head or the arms. So I did make time stamps for the various part of this pattern. So you don't have to sit through the entire tutorial. You can skip forward, click on a specific section you would want to see. I mean, I show you how I sew on ears, how I sew on the muzzle, how I do the pumpkin. So if there's any small parts that you would want to see how I do it, you can skip to that part in the video. So keep an eye out for this tutorial. It will be beginner friendly. This is not a difficult pattern. But let me show you the pattern, you guys. I've been talking for I don't know how many minutes and you haven't seen Buddy yet. So let me introduce you to Pumpkin Buddy. This is him. And the moment I thought about Not So Scary Halloween, I knew I wanted to do something with a pumpkin. I knew I wanted to do a little Buddy Bear. Now this is the top part, so the arms, the head, the ears, and the muzzle of Buddy Bear 2.0, which is also a free pattern on my blog. So I just use a part of him, and he just looks like he has been hiding in a little a little pumpkin, and he's trying to scare people. But honestly, look at that little face. There is no way he is scaring a single soul. So this is Pumpkin Buddy. Now I did various versions of him during the writing of the pattern and testing of the pattern, and I just want to give a quick shout out to Kathleen and Bob, who tested this pattern for me. I wrote to the two of them and said, please ladies, I'm on a extreme time crunch, can you please very quickly test this pattern for me? And they both did a brilliant job. So thank you, Kathleen and Bob, for helping me out with testing this pattern. But here we go. So this was the first version. Now this is just felt. It's not even glued on. I just used double-sided tape because I'm not sure I want to keep the face on there. If you don't want this jack-o'-lantern vibe, you can just do the pumpkin without putting anything on the front. And then I will go through the materials just now. But I thought this was so cute. So a very easy pumpkin pattern. And then little Buddy, he's popping out at the top, trying to be as scary as a cute bee can possibly be. So this is just a little toothpick with a piece of paper on it that I wrote on the word boo. But I mean, you can do whatever. If you want to let him hold a little candy, or a sign that says happy autumn, or fall vibes, or you can customize this in so many different ways. So this was the first version that I made, and I'll quickly run through the materials. For this one I did use Hobby Honey Bunny. It is a number 6 super bulky, and I used a 5mm on this one. Now the pattern I also wrote using Honey Bunny, but you can use anything like Parfait Chunky, something in that line. So any super bulky, this 100% polyester yarn would work really well. You can of course do it in a thicker velvet yarn, like a blanket yarn, but then you will have to upsize the yarn that you make the Buddy Bear part with. So I used the number 6 super bulky for the pumpkin, and then I used a DK acrylic for the bear. So if you use, for instance, maybe a blanket yarn, which is a yarn weight 7, you would need to maybe just increase to a worsted weight, yarn weight 4 for the bear. But there you go. So for the bear, I actually used one of my favorite DKs, and this is the Crochet Society Confection DK. This came in the last Crochet Society subscription box, and this is color Marshmallow. So this is just 100% acrylic. Now I know this yarn is not really available for sale anywhere apart from if you get it in a subscription box, but you can use any number 3 DK to make your bear with. And for the DK weight I used a 3mm crochet hook. So 3mm for the DK, 5mm for the velvet yarn. So there we have it, the first version of Little Pumpkin Buddy. Then I did a second version, and if you saw my hashtag Fall in Love video yesterday, I spoke about these little polymer clay leaves that I made, and I thought this was just such a cute decoration. So this Buddy is holding a little garland of leaves. He is just all into fall. He is our autumn vibes bear. So the same yarn, again the Honey Bunny, I used this one, the Confection DK. After this one I did the tutorial, but at this point I did not have enough of this yarn left to do the pumpkin, so I used a different yarn, which was the Hobby Baby Snuggle, which is also a super bulky number 6, slightly different color. And I made this guy. So I had enough of the Confection DK to make Buddy with, but my pumpkin is exactly the same size. It's just a slightly different color for my pumpkin. And for this one, now these little hats I bought last year from Amazon in a little kit. It's actually a snowman making kit that I bought, and you've got these little hats, these little top hats. They were part of that kit, and I just popped it onto his ear. I didn't even glue it on yet. This little cup that he's holding, so this guy, he is also very much more fall or autumn inspired bear. He is holding his little pumpkin spiced latte. And let me tell you, yesterday we went into the city in Copenhagen. I went to the Starbucks. I absolutely love Starbucks. And for the first time in my life, you guys, I had a pumpkin spiced latte and I loved it. I will definitely have it again before the end of the pumpkin spice latte season. I loved it. So this guy, he is holding a little pumpkin spiced latte cup. Now, I wrote a pattern for this cup last year. For some reason, I just never released it. So maybe if you guys want, I can try and put out. But I mean, there's so many little cup patterns out there. But this is just a little pattern that I wrote for a tiny little pumpkin spice latte. Using, I think for this one, this pattern is using fingering weight yarn. So I made it using the Hobby Rainbow Cotton 84. So there we have it. So he is already still jumping out of his little pumpkin, but he's like, nah, I'm not scaring anyone. I'm having a pumpkin spice latte. So there we have it. Free pattern on my blog. Free tutorial that will be out shortly after this video. And I hope you guys love him. I hope I will see a few pumpkin buddies popping up here and there. He's such a quick pattern to make. I mean, if you only want to use the pumpkin part, not even put a bear on it, you can make the pumpkin, stick a cinnamon stick or something in the middle of it, and you will have a pumpkin. But I just love this idea of Buddy Bear popping out of a pumpkin, trying his level best to be scary, but obviously he's not scary. Just look at that little face. Alright, you guys, I had so much fun with this video. Let me know if any of you are going to be trying this cute little pumpkin buddy pattern. I'm so excited to see versions of him popping up. As I say, very cute, very easy, beginner friendly. The links will be down in the description box below. And you guys, I will see you next Monday for the next project reveal in this fantastic hashtag not so scary Halloween. So please go and have a look at the channels of the other ladies. I'm super excited to see what they will be coming up every week, or making every week, coming up with. But as always, it's so much fun hanging out with you guys. I look forward to chatting with you in the comments. And as always, friends, until I see you next time, stay safe and stay crafty.